everyone, it's Sharana from Pay or Waits, and today I'm going to be reviewing Malignant, which is currently playing in theaters and streaming on HBO Max. This film is directed by James Wan and it stars Annabelle Wallis, who plays Madison, who is paralyzed by shocking visions of grisly murders, and her torment only worsens as she discovers that these waking dreams are in fact terrifying realities. Now, for those of you who are new to my channel, welcome, hello, so glad you came, I hope you stay. I tell you what I liked about the film, what I didn't like about the film, and should you pay or wait to see Malignant in theaters or also too on HBO Max where it's currently streaming, because that's your business how you watch your movies. So, going into what I enjoyed about this film, all right? Now, this is going to be a spoiler-free review. Do not worry, I am not going to give anything away. I'm going to be as vague as possible, and honestly, even if I told you what was going to happen in this film, it wouldn't prepare your eyes for what you actually see happening before you. I just have to give this like disclaimer. I swear I'm gonna get into this review. I just want to let you guys know that I was spiritually disturbed by this movie. I was emotionally disturbed, okay? Emotionally disturbed by it, all right? Also too, I was physically disturbed. This movie is so disgusting, okay? Just nasty. It's just nasty, okay? You know exactly what I'm talking about when you get to that part. And I'm sorry to that person, but it was nasty to look at. It was so nasty that I literally became physically sick to my stomach while watching Malignant, to the point that I could no longer eat my food. I made a really nice seasoned salmon wrap. I had to say seasoned because it's a war on seasonings, y'all. I made a nice seasoned salmon wrap. It was good, baby. And I started eating that wrap, munching, okay? And then as the movie started progressing, I got so sick to my stomach. I thought that I was literally going to I thought I was going to puke, to just put it nicely, all right? And I had to just let my food go to waste. And if anyone that knows me, you know, baby girl over here, we don't miss not one meal. All right. So if anyone from Warner Brothers is watching this, if anyone from James Wan team, anybody involved with Malignant, I just want to let y'all know you need to run me my money for an Uber Eats gift card, because that food that went to waste, that was a good meal. And you should have put a disclaimer. Hey, don't eat while watching this. Probably don't eat afterwards. You probably should eat an hour prior to watch this to make sure that your food is already in the digestion phase, okay? That's just a little side note I had, and when you watch it, you'll be like, okay, I understand why Sharana had to make a 1-minute disclaimer for that portion of it. I'm just trying to protect you because I was not protected. So, back to the review. Now, for the things that I really enjoyed about this film, I do want to give kudos just for the originality behind a movie like Malignant. I think one of my biggest complaints that I do have right now with Hollywood is that you don't see enough original, fresh, crazy ideas. And when I say that this idea that like they came up with, to the point where I just feel like, are you guys in therapy? Because I'm really trying to figure out how you came up with this concept. It's so bat-ish crazy that I was just like, I can't even believe they greenlit it. Like, I'm assuming because James Wan was one of the people who helped come up with this concept, that's probably why it got greenlit. But I was literally watching the film like, I really cannot believe they actually put this out in theaters, but I'm actually here for it. And especially just really doing something that's so crazy, so out of the box, to really just add something new and fresh and rejuvenating, not just to the horror genre, but just to movies in general. I like when people take these crazy ideas and they're able to have it pay off for the audience on the screen. Now, I'm gonna let y'all know now, this is gonna be a love it or hate it movie. Like, I might have enjoyed it, but I'm gonna let y'all know it's gonna go one of two ways, depending on how you handle the third act of the film. Now, also too, I will have to say this movie is very gutty, very bloody, very disgusting, good body horror that takes place in the throughout the course of the film. I really love what they did with that, but it has this camp feeling to it. And for a while, honestly, like when it first started, I was like, I'm praying that this is camp, because last time I checked, like, you would almost think that it was going to be like a spoof type of movie. But as the movie continued to like progress, I was just like, for the sake of my enjoyment of this film, I'm going to assume that they're not trying to be too serious. They try not to take themselves too serious, even though at some parts of the film, I did feel like, oh wait, like they're actually trying to be serious right now. But just due to the terrible dialogue that happens, like the writing in this film, I was just like, for the sake of me not trying to trash the movie, I'm just going to say that you guys were going for camp. You weren't trying to be serious. You were trying to be funny in some areas, because some of this dialogue is very cringy. Some of the things that happen to these characters, you're just watching and you start laughing. And I was just like, I'm not supposed to be laughing in a horror movie, but I'm just going to go with it for the sake of this film. Now, also, too, I do want to give a shout out to Michael Burgess, who is the cinematographer for this film. It looks really good. It is a well-made film. And as we get into Madison's dreams, our lead character, she's having these terrifying dreams as murders are actually happening. And I really love how they blend those two realities, almost to the point where you're just like, hold on, are we still dreaming, or is this real life right now? I thought that they did a really great job from the color scheme of the film. The palette, it just looks really nice. It looks like it's giving me, like, we're trying to be very like chic about it, but still murder at the same time, still horror at the same time, still camp. It's a lot, I know, but just go with me here. I thought that they did a really great job with the cinematography of the film as well. I do want to give a shout out to some of the actors in this film. I think Ellen Bell Wallace, this film doesn't really work without her. I love some of the body horror that happens with her character as she's being thrusted into these murderous dreams that are happening around her. I think also too, she's very convincing. Even though I say all of the acting is not good in this film, and it's totally okay, because I'm going to say that that's what they were going for. She truly makes you believe her character. Like, you're watching this film where people are literally being murdered. She's saying that she's having dreams about it, but I still believe that, like, I'm like, baby girl, I believe you. I don't think you had anything to do with this, honey, because you're just so convincing to me. I was just like, can you go cry like this to Sally Mae so they can forgive my loans? Because that's how convincing she was in the movie. But I do want to give a shout out to McKenna Grace, who has a very small part in this film. But when I just want to say that baby girl stay with a bag, stay with a job, booked and busy in every single film I'm watching. McKenna is in it, TV, she in it, and she's always great. Even though she's there for just a few minutes in the film, she really sells her portion. And also too, I want to give a shout out to Nicole White, who plays one of the detectives in this film. Now, you know, I always go on about how the detectives are trash and they never really do their job in a good way. And that's probably the same for this film as well. But you always have that character in a horror film. It's typically when I watch black horror films, but in this film, she was reacting the way that I would have been reacting, okay? That some of the things that she was saying, I was just like, sis, I'm right there with you. And she added to a lot of the funny moments of the film for me, like for the scenes that she's in and her interactions with the entire cast. I just wanted to give a shout out to her because she was saying exactly what I was thinking, and I love when that happens in movies. But even though overall I have a lot of fun things to say about this film, there are some issues. Now, I had an issue with the score. There would be something really serious happening, and then this crazy like score comes out of nowhere, like 80s music. Like, think like the very extra like 80s or 70s type of horror music. And I was just like, y'all, why are we doing this? Ain't we supposed to be in present day, aren't we? Why are we playing this music? It took me out of it. Other people might like it. I just couldn't get with it. There's also something that happens with the character, and it deals with electricity that they never actually explained to me. There are some plot holes that are happening in this film, some things that never actually get explained once you figure out what is going on behind these murders, who's responsible for these murders. And I was just like, there was an opportunity here that you could have explained that to me, because it still just doesn't make sense. And I just wish that we would have tied up a couple of more of the loose ends at the end of the film after all is revealed to the audience as to what is actually going on. But overall, for me, yeah, I like this movie. Okay, I would say if you feel comfortable going to see it in theaters, I would definitely tell you to pay to see this film in theaters. I would have loved to actually been able to go to a screening for this film. They didn't have screenings for press, but I would have loved to watch the reaction on everyone's face once we figured out what the hell was actually going on. I would have loved to been there to see how the audience as a whole would have reacted, but I also had a fun time watching it at home. For those of you like me who are scared all the time, I don't think this movie is actually scary. I think because it's so disturbing and disgusting at the same time that it outweighed me actually being scared, because I was just physically sick by the time we made it to the third act of the film. So I'm gonna tell you guys, it's not really a scary movie, but it's a movie that definitely will have everyone talking. It's a love it or hate it type of movie. Don't take this movie too seriously if you want to actually enjoy this movie, but I can't wait to see what else James Wan has in store for us. If you would have put this on my 2021 bingo card, I would not have thought it. I would not have thought it. But this movie is already causing a wave. If we had someone reenact one of the characters at the Met Gala, if you've seen the movie, you know exactly who I'm talking about. And also too, it's been crazy talk all over the timelines. Just watch this, try to avoid spoilers, go into this completely blind, do not watch trailers. I guarantee you will be in for a very interesting ride. Just don't eat. But those are my thoughts on Malignant. As always, my name is Sharona from Pair Waits, and if you like what you saw today, make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, share this video with your friends, and make sure you hit the notification bell. And I love you guys 3000. And until I see you again,